So, why do you really have social anxiety? Listen, I'm not here to convert you into an extrovert. Okay, who am I kidding? Yes, I am. Why? Because it's fun and liberating on this side. Today, we're going to talk about social anxiety, what it actually is, and why it is that we're experiencing it. And this video is in particular for those who are dealing with social anxiety and want to get rid of it because they feel stuck. They want to step outside their comfort zone, they want to interact, but they're just not able to get around what feels like a barrier. So that's what I'm going to help you resolve today. So that next time you go out to a party, a networking event, or you're sitting at the bar by yourself, you don't feel like you have to be a recluse and you actually get the courage to just say hello. Because why not? You never know who you're going to meet. Welcome back to Soulspiration by Sadiqa. It's your girl Sadiqa. And we're talking about all things social anxiety. If this is your cup of tea, then thumb up this video because it lets me know that you're looking for this kind of content. On this channel, I am talking all things communication, personal development, and finding your voice, and sharing lessons with you in real time that I'm learning as I navigate my 30s. We're doing this together, okay? But as an event MC and a speaking coach, I know a few things about stepping outside my comfort zone. And if you're curious about how you can do the same thing, then you can see my website is linked below. It's also in the description, and you can book a free 15-minute call with me to talk about what it is you're struggling with when it comes to confidence, speaking, and owning your voice. I hope you stick around and join the Soultribe because over here, we step out of the matrix and into our divinity. Okay? Let's talk about this. I'm going to give you a few reasons for why you deal with social anxiety, how you can think of it differently so you can navigate more confidently. First and foremost, you must understand everything that we deal with in this lifetime is mental. Anytime I'm out in a social setting, anytime I'm going to a party, a networking event, or I'm around people that I've never met before, maybe doing a hobby that I enjoy, whether it's playing soccer or playing golf, and I'm by myself, I do a lot of things alone. There's a couple of things that I keep in my mind to help me navigate any type of anxiety around being around people for the first time. Because even as an event MC, I still can have moments of fear and social anxiety. So, what I keep in my mind is the first thing is remembering that everybody wants to be accepted. Everybody. You, the next person, me, Joe, Schmo, Susan, everybody wants to feel that they have a place. And so, because I know this, I've come to learn this. What I do is I lead with kindness. It's one thing to lead with a joke, being rude, being, trying to be liked, but it's another thing to lead with kindness. And if you do this, you will have a 99% success rate of striking up conversation with a total stranger. And next thing you know, you guys are 5 minutes deep in a conversation that you're really enjoying. When I was in college, when I first got there, and if you're a current college student, or you've already graduated college, you probably remember that when you were in college, there was this desire to connect with everyone, and everybody was so nice. Everybody was so kind. Why? Because they were in a brand new environment, away from home, doing this new thing called college that they probably have never done before. And so everyone was looking for a safety place, a safety net, a group of people they can hang with, where their tribe was going to be for the next 4 years. So if you can think of it from that perspective, it helps you remember that everybody wants to be accepted, no matter what space they're in, no matter what phase of their life they're in. What you found too is that over time you ended up finding your clique, right? And the person that was being super duper nice to you, or the person you were super duper nice to, you guys were probably still cordial, but maybe you found that that wasn't your tribe. But you both led with that because you really wanted to have a place. Anytime you're out in public, remember, no matter who's there, everybody wants to feel like they have a place. They have some type of comfort zone, and the people around them are friendly and there's camaraderie. So when you remember that everybody wants that, remember that you're not the only one there that's nervous. You're not the only one there looking for a friend. The second hack that I keep in my mind anytime I'm out in a social setting and I want to network, make friends, and do something outside of my comfort zone where there's people around is remember that No one's thinking about you as much as you think. And I know that sounds contradictory to what I said before, but what I mean by this is that people are not judging you as hard as you're judging yourself or as I'm judging myself. People don't really know you outside of what you're giving them in that moment. So they have no idea what kind of car you drive. They have no idea what your past was like in college. They don't know anything about you except what you are presenting to them right then and there. And even then, they're not judging you as hard. If anything, they're judging themselves. They're thinking, how am I being perceived? What energy am I giving off? Who am I going to connect with? We're all in our own little worlds. Like, imagine everybody being little planets walking around. We're all in our own little worlds trying to navigate this orbit. And so when you realize that you're not the only one in your head, when you realize everybody's in their head for the most part, and we'll talk about a video about getting out of our heads in another segment, but when you recognize that most people are in their heads, it helps you remember that nobody cares as much as you think. Yeah, so you spilled your drink a little bit. Nobody's like carrying that for the rest of the night. Oh, so you tripped over something and you kind of stumbled. It feels more embarrassing than it actually is being remembered by people who saw it. Think about it. I've had cringe moments where I'm thinking about something I did when I was like 15. And I'm like, if I thought back at this, nobody's thinking about this except me. Even if there were people there, nobody cares. No one's up at night thinking about what somebody else did that was cringe. You're up at night thinking about what you did that was cringe, right? Have you ever woke up in the middle of the night or like just couldn't go to sleep because you were so embarrassed by how cringy somebody else sounded? No, but you have thought about how cringy you sounded. And I have thought about how cringy I sounded or something I was regretful of in the past. But no one's really doing that for other people. No one's thinking about the next person that hard. That's another thing I keep in my mind, that it's almost kind of narcissistic for me to think everybody's thinking about me all the time. And that's kind of like the mentality that we have because we're in our own heads. People are not thinking about us like that. That's liberating as hell. I don't know what you think, but I think that's liberating. And that's why I'm not afraid to be out here and bust a move whenever I feel like it, because if anything, it probably is going to inspire somebody to do that or let loose and be who they are versus you thinking, oh my God, everyone's judging me. No one's really, they might look and think, okay, that's weird, but they're not, but then they keep it moving. They've moved on to the next thing. They don't even care anymore, you know? Okay. I'll give you another example about no one really thinking about us like that. Think about when you start a new job. I've started plenty of new jobs before. And what do we do on day one of orientation? Icebreakers, introductions. We're going to go around the room and we're going to introduce ourselves and we're going to say this and that and one fun fact and blah, 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 blah. So I've done this plenty of times, as I'm sure you have too. I'm sitting on my table or at the desk and everyone's going in a circle and explaining or introducing themselves. As soon as it comes to me or as it's getting closer to me, I can feel my nerves like, oh, it's almost my turn. And at that point, I've almost stopped listening to what everybody has said because I'm so focused on what I'm going to say. I'm so focused on how I'm going to come across. So if I'm thinking that, so is everybody else. And chances are nobody remembers what anybody said anyway. They were just focused on, are they going to get what they want to say out without stumbling over their words? Am I going to sound cool, professional? You've done that too before, haven't you? You've listened to people introduce themselves, but really you weren't really listening. You were just waiting for your turn to speak. So that's how you know nobody cares that much. So get out of your own head. I'm just saying. There's a saying that goes, when you're in your 20s, you think everybody's thinking about you. When you get into your 40s, you stop caring. But when you get to your 60s, you realize nobody ever cared anyway, as much as we thought they did. So imagine going through life thinking that everybody's thinking about what you're doing and saying and being hyper focused on how you're being perceived when everybody else is thinking about themselves and how they're being perceived. That is why social anxiety to me is a mental inside game. The last thing I'll say here about this is anytime someone is being hyper judgmental, you must know they are hyper judgmental about themselves, hyper judgmental of themselves. I know you've heard this before, but I'm going to remind you we are our own little planets walking around, navigating and orbiting around the space. And the planet has its own gravitational pull. And they also have their own sun, their own planet, they have their own all these planets that keep them together. And so really all we can do is work with what we've got. So if I'm judging you, that's because I'm judging myself. I'm working with what I've got, and what I've got is what's inside my planet, which is me, my head. So these are 2 mental hacks, mental notes you can take for yourself anytime you're like, oh my God, I'm nervous. Oh my God, I don't want to go out to this networking event because I hate talking to people. I want you to remember what I said. The first one is that everybody's looking to be accepted or to be received well. So if everybody's thinking that, you have nothing to be afraid of, really. And the second thing is that remember college, when everybody was trying to make friends, everybody was in a new space trying to be accepted. It's almost like you had 200 best friends for the first week of college because everyone was, oh my God, hi, how's it going? Oh my God, hey, let's have lunch, let's do this, let's do that. And slowly but surely you found your tribe, right? But in that beginning, you had like you had your entire graduating class was your bestie because that's how much everyone wanted to have. That is how much everyone wanted to fit in and find a tribe. It's no different today. It's just the environments are different, but it's really no difference. We're still going to all crave the same thing. Okay? So that's the first one. The second thing, remember this, take mental note or an actual note. I always encourage y'all to take notes. Nobody is judging us as hard as we are judging ourselves. Nobody cares that much. We're all worried about how we're being perceived. You step outside of yourself and observe that everybody else is actually doing the exact same thing. You recognize that I don't have anything to be fearful of if everybody else is concerned about the same thing. Think about it, we're kind of crazy. Like we're crazy and we're a little narcissistic. We think, oh my God, everyone's judging me, watching me. We're low-key narcissists as humans. You cannot convince me that we're like not even a little bit, just a little bit, because how do we think that? That's so funny to me. Nobody cares. Remember that quote, when we're in our 20s, we think everybody's thinking about us. When we get to our 40s, we stop caring. When we get to our 60s, we realize nobody even cared really like that. You might as well free yourself and have fun and say hello. And go ask those people if you can play with them. If you want to play beach volleyball. I want to give you guys one more quick example. Because I've mastered this over time, I really do feel pretty confident just going up to people and saying, hey, can I play with you guys? Total strangers. I do this all the time. So I play competitive soccer still. For those of you who don't know, I played soccer in high school and in college, but I started playing competitive soccer out after I graduated college just for competitive in the city. Like intramural, stuff like that. There has been plenty of times where I have gone up to complete strangers. If I'm walking down the street in a park, I'm like, can I play with you guys? And sometimes they'll say yes, and sometimes they'll say no. But I did that one day at a park near me, and there was a girl, she was sitting down and she was watching. And I came up to her and I said, hey, have you seen them play before? Are they a new group? And she was like, yeah, I've seen them play once or twice before. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went up to them and I said, hey, can I play with you guys? And they were like, sure. And then I came back because I had actually already had my cleats in my bag. And she looks at me and she goes, you're playing right now? I was like, yeah, why not? And she was like, yeah, you're right. And so she got up and she walked where she lived I think 4 blocks down the road. So she went back down the road, got her stuff, came back and played. And then from there, we kept playing. So it's because I was like, hey, can I play with you guys? Or hey, I'd love to play with you guys. You're like, yeah, come join us. You guys, people are gonna say yes more times than you think. You just gotta get out there. Get in there. As I'm thinking about a bunch of things I haven't put myself out there for yet. But listen, I told you I'm navigating my 30s, okay? I'm not perfect. I know there's things I can put myself out there for that I'm like, ooh, should I? But I would not be in the positions that I am today if hadn't I put myself out there, hadn't I reached out to people, say, hey, hey, I'm a personality. Hey, I love speaking in front of people. If you want someone to facilitate your event, I'd be happy to do that for you. I'd be happy to show you why that would be an asset for your event. And just putting myself out there, leading with kindness and leading with service and value is what has allowed me to land and book multiple events, paid events, as an event MC. Okay? So look, the proof is in the pudding, baby. I'm not making this stuff up. You can check the site. All right. So anyway, thank you guys for thumbing up this video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you find that this video resonated with you because you're ready to kind of break through, and step outside of your wall and put yourself out there. You don't have to want to be on a stage, but you want to connect with people. And if you're dealing with communication issues, social anxiety, I'm here to help you change your mindset, as well as help give you tips on how you can communicate with people and have the social life that you want to have, and the confidence to speak up for yourself. Tell your story where it matters. This is what we do right here on this channel. This is Soulspiration by Sadiqa. I'm your girl Sadiqa. I hope you subscribe and stick around, because baby, over here we step out of the matrix and honey into our divinity. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all I got for you for now. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.